Welcome back. It's your boy Danye BC2. And before you do anything, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. Now, today we have a very controversial topic. Now, it is with the Whatever podcast, and they are talking about transgenders. They're talking about, you know what I mean, should you date them? They're also discussing, like, basically saying, is a costume of just trying to be a woman? And so we're going to get into it. We're going to see what these ladies are talking about. So let's not waste no time and see what's going on.
Think that way means I shouldn't think that way.
No, this is my opinion. We're talking about my opinion, right? So
Yeah,
my opinion is that you cannot wear a costume and become somebody else's I don't think, no matter how many breasts a man puts on, no matter how many hormones he takes, no matter how many dresses he wears, he's never going to be a woman. He'll never have my experience as a woman, and he'll never be able to have children or procreate or be a mother like a woman.
So it offends you when someone identifies as a...
it does.
And why does it offend you?
It offends me because you're trying to be me and you're not me.
They're not trying to be you. They don't want to be you.
To be women. Yeah.
They no. Wait.
Well,
so why does it offend you? Because they're not trying to be you.
It offends me because the country can't distinct with the fact that, like, you can be a cow, that's fine, do whatever you want, but you're not gonna. I'm not done talking. So you can be a cow, do whatever you want, but I don't think it's right to let biological men live in sororities with other females. I don't think it's right to let them into bathrooms with other females. I don't think it's right to let them play sports with females and win against them. I think that's wrong. Okay. So when nobody else likes to
look at the ladies' faces. Look at the person with the microphone by her head. Look at, like, how even the lady that the colorful colors on, who is getting a little bit offended. You seeing her smiling, giggling, laughing. They are feeling some type way. This subject is very touchy. Let's see.
Distinctualize that with just being a woman. Yeah, there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had.
Okay, sure. I mean,
I agree with Emily.
Okay, I think there's a very important distinct. Okay, should we wrap? Are we going over time or?
It's okay.
Don't run.
We'll talk about it for a bit, then I'll run.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want to take up all your time.
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. I have one last question afterwards, and then we're done.
Okay.
Guys, we'll get out of here soon.
This shit's getting deep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think there's an important distinction, and I was watching a video on this the other day and I agree with important distinction between people who are doing it because it's a trend, and then people who are genuinely trans. And I think people who are doing it as a trend ruin the representation of actual trans people and the image of actual trans people who feel like, I'm not comfortable in my body. I don't think this is the body I was supposed to be born in.
Right.
You know?
Right. That's but I believe that's a mental illness, and I believe that needs to be looked at
yes.
a lot deeper and not just reaffirmed into, okay, yeah, take this surgery, take these hormones, and potentially ruin your life.
I think we're doing those people with gender dysphoria a huge disservice because it is a very serious surgery, and I find it personally offensive because they talk about like oh, if you're transgender you can get this like big surgery, and when I, like, as a woman for endometriosis, which is like a women's issue, I needed surgery, which is a minimally invasive surgery. They wouldn't give it to me in the United States. I had to go out of the country. And then even when it comes to abortion, they say, oh, it's a women's right, women's healthcare, whatever. No, they don't care about women's health, and they don't care about women's right because they don't care about women's choice because they didn't give me the choice to get the treatment that is the closest thing that we have to a cure. They said, no, here, go on birth control pills. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to take birth control pills for the rest of my life. And yeah.
Wait, what does that have to do with trans people?
It's all related. They talk about like I just find it very offensive because like
I don't know why you care about people's gender and sexuality.
Okay, so let me jump in real quick and let me say this. When this movement really first took off in terms of the LGBTQ movement, I think that a lot of women, most women, I would say, jumped on the ride of, yes, it's good. And I also think men was a little, more supportive of the movement when it first came out, because at the end of the day, I think most men and women, most people in general, want people to be happy in a sense, want people to be able to do what they want to do. I think what's starting to happen now, and like what people are getting tired of, is the push to persuade everybody into getting into it. And also, I think now there's a lot of people that are just playing the role. I don't even know the reason to play the role for, but people are just like starting to play that role in terms of transition over to take advantage of the system, to be honest with me. Like now it's so wide open, because this is the thing. When you start to move the goalposts with certain things, there's no limit on nothing. So now we got men that are transitioning over to being a woman and playing in women's sports, which they're breaking women records. Like, it's not even close. This is crazy, because the biggest issue with this is a woman can train all her life, let's say, all her life in swimming, all her life in track, all her life in UFC, and a 30-year-old man, or even a boy in high school who wants to be a woman, decides he wakes up, wants to be a woman, take pills and for like 3 months and is eligible to become a woman and compete, absolutely dominates a woman in that sport who's been training all her life. It is not fair, because it is proven that men have an advantage. Like, we have, our hand strength is 16 times stronger than women. No, I don't think that men should be able to compete in women's sports, for an example. Let's get back into the video.
People can get surgery so easily. I couldn't get surgery. And then also just abortion is like a side note. It's all related. Like, they say they care about women, but they don't.
Okay. Here's a question. I'm going to try to fuse that into the dating thing. Do you think it's do you think it's wrong for a man to not want to date a trans woman?
Do I think it's here? I don't think it's necessarily wrong, especially when it comes to like the sexual aspect, because there might be a guy that's like, okay, let me try this relationship with a trans woman who may still have, male biological body parts. For some people, they might just not be able to get over that hump, which is like, I feel like is understandable. So yeah, I think again, it all comes to preference and standard.
What about if they got the surgery to change, but I still couldn't get over that part? So they had
gender reassignment surgery.
What's the term? I don't know.
Bottom surgery?
Yeah. Yeah. Would that also be? Would you object to that? Like, oh, I don't want to be with someone who has the what's it called? The inverted? I don't know what it's
gender
called.
reassignment surgery.
No, there's a term for the
okay.
medical term.
Bottom surgery. I don't know the medical term.
Whatever, the surgery, right? Would you object to that?
Do I object to that?
Yeah.
I probably would object to that. I mean, because that person's like a woman, and you say you're attracted to women, so.
No, they're not a woman.
In your opinion?
Wait. Is it real?
Yeah, it's really.
Okay, go ahead.
So what were the 4 things that you said? One of them was children, right?
Whoa. That's totally hold on. That's not related.
Like,
that's not related to what you just said.
No, it is. For like, because children is one of the important things in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And if you meet someone, and if you really want kids, like if you want your own biological kids from your partner,
then that's
you
fine.
Can't have that. So like, to say like, oh, even if you've transitioned but you still won't date me, that's not fair.
I'm not gonna lie, this part is definitely a little uncomfortable. Now, she is trying to sit here and say that if they have the surgery to take, that man's private part off, that makes that a woman, and that a man should still be attracted to that man. Let's be honest. That is a man. And she's saying that no, it is a woman. So men should also be attracted to, and they should go for those type of men/women. that's craziness. And like and this is where it starts to go off the railings, because as a man, this is scary. Like personally, love women. I like women. I want to be with a woman. And now we're in a time where a man, and this is the thing too, and this is a little bit to do with women also. It's your fault as well, because with the paying for the BBLs, with the like makeup, with the fake eyelashes, with all these things that y'all are trying to do to look more attractive to a man, you're actually helping the other sex, at like, which is a man who wants to transition to being a woman, fit along right in with y'all, because he looks just like y'all, because he can get eyelashes, he can get makeup, he can get a BBL, and he can look damn near like a woman and trick men into really believing that that's a woman. And that's a big problem with the women, because y'all are allowing for this difference of look that isn't really you. So, but I do not agree with the men who transition should not tell that person what they did, or before they even go the extra mile, not tell them, because there was a case that a guy actually killed, you know what I mean, a transgender, because they didn't let them know until it was time to actually do it. And I'm not advocating to murder nobody, and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying there's some men that will take it to the extreme because they feel violated. And you don't want to put yourself in that position, because there's some men that are sensitive about that and who can't emotionally deal with that. And men do have a sense of violence in them, which it's not, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not a great situation to have overall. And for this woman to advocate for men to just openly accept, yeah, I mean, a transgender, and act like that transgender is actually a woman, can cause major issues in that transgender's life. And if they want to go down that path, that's fine. Be open with it. And a lot of people who want you and want to accept you will accept you. But do not deceive and do not try to play people, you know what I mean, to get what you want. So I know it's a touchy subject, but we have to talk about it. Now, please, if you can do me a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content that you just seen. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. I'm out.